are the New York Knicks. I'm back, rocking in New York. Well, it's the Knicks. New York. We are the New York Knicks. New Yorkers. For this new season we're about to enter, the Knicks taking no shorts, it's like winter.
New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is K-N-I-C-K-S.
Everybody say go New York, go New York, go!
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 448 of the New York Knicks podcast, part of the Almighty Baller Podcast Network and Dash Radio. I am Jay. How you doing, Mark?
Good. Should they give LeBron James the MVP award right now?
Lakers don't look so good without LeBron. I mean, they didn't have Kuzma and Rondo either, but it's LeBron.
Well, I mean, he left Cleveland. They went from going to the finals to being one of the worst teams in basketball. The Lakers look really good when he plays, and when he doesn't play, they lose to the Knicks.
That is right. The Knicks snapped their 37-game losing streak by beating the Lakers. Also, the roster has not changed, and the starting lineup has not changed since last episode. So that is noteworthy.
Yeah. The Knicks won a game this week, so that's huge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where are they now, Jay?
Are you doing a where are they now for the players, or where are the Knicks now?
I was thinking where are they now for a former Knick, but
okay.
Former Knicks assistant coach and guy that we wanted to have the Knicks coaching job at some point, Tom Thibodeau, has been fired.
He seems not great.
No, he does not seem great. But nothing in Minnesota seemed great, and it seemed like the downfall of that franchise was trading for Jimmy Butler.
Trading Jimmy Butler?
Trading for Jimmy Butler.
Oh, I was going to say they seem better without him, actually.
Oh, you think they're better not having him?
Yeah, I mean, they got Robert Covington now, so they're good.
Oh, okay.
No, I really think Covington and Saric have been like a better fit with Towns and Wiggins than Butler was.
Yeah, well, I thought Butler and going to the playoffs was a better fit than not going to the playoffs.
I mean, can you really fault any West Coast team for not making the playoffs this year? There's 14 good teams.
Yeah, Timberwolves aren't that good. What's their record?
They are 19-21.
Yeah, they're not good. I
mean,
last year they were a playoff team. With Butler, they're a much better team.
The Jazz are 20-20, and they're out of the playoff picture right now. Are you saying they're not a good team either?
No, but I'm just saying Minnesota's trading for Butler has not worked out in any way. They basically were better off just having the asset. The guys they were better off having that 8th pick basically than making the trade.
Wasn't that Larry Markkinen?
Yeah, they're probably better off just drafting Larry Markkinen than or just drafting someone else.
I wouldn't mind having Larry Markkinen.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how Markkinen actually would fit next to KP.
Well, he wouldn't have to worry about that for an entire year, would he?
That's true, because KP is being reevaluated in February. So are you nervous at all about maxing KP?
Absolutely. I am so nervous. I mean, the guy has not had one healthy season yet.
He's not had one healthy season. We're going to lock him in for 5 seasons. They're not going to get any kind of discount. They're going to go full max with him.
Yeah.
And if it does not work out,
that's it.
Really,
if it doesn't work out, then the Knicks are locked into not winning anything for at least 5 years.
But I mean, I guess if they don't sign him, they're locked into not winning anything for the next 5 years also. It's true. And even if they sign him, they're probably locked into not winning anything for the next 5 years. As long as we do the show, the Knicks are locked into not winning anything.
Let's just hope he's at least healthy so we can not have this what if.
Like something will basically our show we will say I can't take it anymore. We will cancel the show, and the following season the Knicks will be like the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team, and like just be the miracle on hardwood.
So it'll be like my fantasy team.
What do you mean your fantasy team is? I thought your fantasy team sucks.
Well, I traded Cantor for Wendell Carter Jr.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 games before I traded him, 12-9, 17-13, 16-11.
Yeah.
First night on my team, 0-1. I mean, what the hell?
That is your luck. That is. I think maybe by doing this show, we're just cursing the Knicks. How's that?
I actually won the 2 weeks we were off for break.
Okay.
Now I'm back.
So you're not going to lie about that.
Well, no, now I'm back to getting stomped because I have 3 injuries.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk other Knicks news. Where are they now? Who got traded this week? Justin Holiday.
Oh yeah, Justin Holiday. So yeah,
he was a Knick. The Knicks didn't think he was worth giving a contract to. They gave his money to Ron Baker, who they've recently cut.
by the way, Holiday got almost the same contract as Ron Baker.
Almost the same contract, and Ron Baker Justin Holiday now has been traded for 2 second-round draft picks and other players.
2 players and 2 second-round draft picks.
That's Justin Holiday, who was worthless to the Knicks because the Knicks are. I can't really kill them for that because no one was like too upset when they bring him back. It was just when they gave his exact money to Ron Baker, and you're like, oh, Justin Holiday can kind of play. Ron Baker can't play.
I mean, Holiday was not playing good when he got traded. It's just the fact that they were actually able. Like, why are other teams able to take players like that and end up with draft picks? And then the Knicks never seem to get draft picks for players like that.
The thing with Holiday, he's not a great shooter, but he's decent from 3. And he's up to on the Knicks. He shot like 2 or 3, maybe 3 threes a game. Now he shoots 6 threes a game, hits 2 of them. There's some value there, and he plays some defense. He's a solid guy off the bench now. He was actually pretty decent on the Knicks. He wasn't he's not a starter. But if he's your 10th guy on the bench, you're feeling good about it.
Yeah, I guess Chicago did to him what the Knicks tried to do to him, and just be like, hey, you're the star of the team, and it's like he definitely should not be.
Yeah, but at least they got some value out of him. The Knicks never seem to do that.
Nope.
So rumor has it that some teams have inquired about Enes Kanter.
Yeah, which begs the question: why is he still on the team then?
Yeah. Though I wonder what the inquiries are.
Well, the rumor was it was Sacramento.
What if Sacramento calls up and there's like, hey, you got Kanter? We're like, yeah. Ha 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 ha! And they hang up.
I mean, the rumor is if the Knicks make a trade with Kanter, it would have to be for Kufos.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, I'm sure most of the inquiries are like, hey, Kanter, we love him. We think he'd be great on our team. Can you take back a longer bad contract for him?
Well, Kufos is expiring. So
He's expiring, so that would make sense. But I imagine most of the teams that are inquiring about Kanter are really like, how can we dump a contract on you guys?
Yeah. Yeah.
You think Sacramento really wants? They're like, hey, we're playing really well, but he'll take tons of threes. De'Aaron Fox is emerging. We need a guy to make all this stuff work worse. I
mean, Sacramento never does moves that make sense, so this could be a real rumor.
I mean, I guess it doesn't there's no if his contract's up anyway, there's no harm, and I guess he's a solid guy off the bench. I'd be happy to get rid of him. So I saw there was a stat about Kanter actually that this week that came out. We always talk about his defense is terrible, right? Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Zach DeLuzio on Posting and Toasting did a whole big piece basically about Kanter can't play defense, which we all knew, and he's just showing just how bad he is on defense. But the interesting thing also was Kanter seems to make everyone worse on offense too. Apparently, the Knicks, their effective field goal percentage goes from 51.6% when he's on the bench to 46.8% when he's on the floor.
That's the crazy thing. If you just look at box scores, you're like, why isn't this guy playing 35 minutes a game?
I think part of it is first rebounds are a bit of an empty stat. They should be a statistic for contested rebounds because those are the only ones that really matter. When the other team's not even going for the rebound and you just happen to get it, is that a big
yeah, but
wow, you got that rebound that no one else was going for anyway because you just need to clean the glass for us.
Well, yeah, but that counts for a couple. But if you're consistently getting 10 to 15 rebounds a game, that it's more than just getting empty rebounds.
I feel like he gets a lot of empty rebounds. I mean, you're
But there's
right. He
just
does.
not that
And
many available in a game where you could be like, oh, those are just empty rebounds he's getting.
I feel like also there's a certain amount of him not contesting the shots, and he's like better set up for the rebound because he's not contesting the shot.
Well, yeah, he definitely does that. If a guy
Which
goes
is-
past 3 feet of him, he just turns around. He turns his back to the guy and just says, I'll get the rebound if he misses.
I mean, once in a while he gets like a pretty good rebound, and like he's a pretty good rebounder, no question. I'm just saying, like, it's not as big of a stat. Like a guy getting 10 rebounds, it's not like wow, he had an amazing night. Sometimes you get like a more of an empty 10 rebounds. Like I don't think the stats as it's not all it's not doesn't mean you're an all-star because you got 10 rebounds.
Well, don't tell him that.
I just think it's an overrated stat. I mean, I totally think there's some value in it, but I wish there'd be some kind of stat for contested rebounds because that would be a little bit better of a. And offensive rebounds generally, the league is moving away from offensive rebounding. I mean, defensive rebounds matters more than offensive rebounds, especially contested defensive rebounds.
Mm,
Well, I mean, like preventing the other team from getting a second shot is usually more valuable. Offensive rebounds, teams are moving away from trying to get the offensive rebound because they want to get back on defense.
yeah.
Cantor's like, I'm not going to try anyhow when I get there, so I might as well just go for the offensive rebound. I mean, there's some, if you look at a lot of the teams that are good in offensive rebounding also happen to be bad teams.
Right.
I know Cleveland's pretty good at it. I don't have the list in front of me. And there's some good teams that are good at it also, but like generally the league is moving away from like really like most teams aren't trying to really contest for the offensive rebound. If they get it, great, but it's not as big a deal these days.
So Cantor hasn't started in 4 or 5 games. Do you think that he is in trouble when Robinson comes back?
I don't know. I mean, I would think he should be, but Robinson also fouls out within half a minute.
Yeah.
And I feel like also I don't think Fizdale is going to like bench him. I think Fizdale is going to be like, he deserves 20 minutes a night. I don't want to make this a terrible situation.
Mm-hmm.
And he does enough when he's on the court. I think in limited minutes, Cantor's like, okay, I guess. Off the bench. Like, he played well in the Laker game, I guess.
Yeah. No, I mean, some nights he does put up enough stats to justify playing him. And
yeah, I'm not saying like he doesn't. I'm not saying every night like all his stats are empty. I'm just saying there's a lot of times where it seems like he's going for his own stats at the detriment of the team.
well, some of his old teammates in Sacramento said he did that, and Oklahoma City.
Yeah, sometimes he's posting up when the play really does not like he just interferes with the play. He hurts spacing. His lack of like covering his man or knowing where to go really hurts. Like everyone has to cover, then make up for his mistake. I don't know. I mean, like every guy always goes like pick and roll at Cantor. Maybe we should all pay attention to that.
Yeah, I mean, if Devin Booker is making fun of your defense, you got problems.
I mean, at the end of the day, like he's bad on defense. I'm just glad hopefully I'm glad the Knicks community is realizing this. Hopefully the Knicks are realizing this, so they won't bring him back.
Yeah.
Jay, do you want to apologize to the Knicks fans for saying that like a couple episodes ago that you take Cantor back?
Well, I mean, I said I take him back at a very cheap rate.
Well, yeah. Let's say he comes back in league minimum. You going to do it?
I mean, I still don't think it's the worst.
Come on.
Well, I'm not.
Luke Cornett looks better on the court than Enes Kanter. Cornett, who's barely in the league, looks better than Cantor.
Yeah, Cornette. He's going to be one of those guys that as soon as he's off the Knicks, is probably out of the NBA. Yet he's outplaying Cantor.
Yeah, he's flat out outplaying Cantor right now. So how do you say Cantor really needs to come back? Like it's just like you see him playing.
I'm not saying he needs to come back. Don't.
I'm just saying you're in love with him and you're putting in like a shrine to him in your apartment next to your Larry Bird shrine. Every night you're like, okay, let's see. My night routine, I brush my teeth, I say my prayers, I beat off to my picture of Enes Kanter, then I go to sleep.
Wow.
Did I go too far with this?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay. But you are like, I don't know why, like, Cantor's fine. I would love to see him not on the Knicks.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all either. And I think he should have his he should grow his pedo mustache back.
And realistically, Cornette and Robinson are on the team right now. I would much rather have Robinson, hopefully will foul less and be able to stay on the court for 25, 30 minutes a game. Cornette could take the rest of the minutes, and you can find someone else that can play center who's not as bad as Cantor.
It sounds like a reasonable plan to me.
Yeah. Okay. So the Knicks played 2 games this week. They were both entertaining games. They first game, I guess the first game was the game against who was the first game?
The Jazz?
Jazz was in this week, was it?
Oh, the Nuggets.
The Nuggets, yeah. So did Jokic have like 37 assists in the game?
In like by halftime, yeah.
It was unbelievable. Yeah, either way, the Knicks played pretty well against them. Like they had a decent shot of winning the game.
Yeah, considering how the Nuggets have been playing, it was surprising how competitive that game was. Are you
Especially with
surprised
how
that the Nuggets are still the number 1 team
Are they? Yeah.
in the entire NBA?
It is crazy because I also told you I bet that the Jazz and the Pelicans have a better record.
Yeah, I'm going to put in my burger order soon.
Okay, that's not working out for me. And then they played the Lakers, where Mario Hezonja saved the day.
This game really made me think that if the Knicks could keep playing teams down 3 starters, they would have a pretty good record. They might even make the playoffs.
We took away 3 or 4 of your best players, and then we played a game. So we have a plan for today's show. We want to update our Knicks power rankings.
Mm-hmm.
The last time we did this was 10 games into the season. We want to give the current power rankings. And I have a couple questions for you right before we do the power rankings.
Okay.
First question. Would you sign Pat McCaw? First of all, Pat McCaw got a 2-year. And the weirdest, I don't understand the story at all. He held out from Golden State. So Cleveland gave him a 2-year, $6 million contract, which just happened. And then 3 games in, it was a non-guaranteed contract. They cut him. And so now he signed a 2-year, $6 million contract for no reason besides to put that contract on your wall, I guess. And I don't know why they signed the contract if he's immediately cut.
Refrigerator material.
And now he's an unrestricted free agent. But he is young. He played for Golden State. He has not done much in the NBA, but I don't know. What do you think? Young player, 23 years old.
I don't know. If he couldn't get any playing time on Cleveland, that's a giant red flag for me.
It's really weird that they cut, because Cleveland really needs young players.
Yeah. Cleveland really needs players, period.
Oh, I mean, they're awful.
Yeah.
I still also, if I'm going to say I'm still saying Kevin Love's contract is the worst in the NBA. John Wall is still, I think, second.
Even after John Wall's season-ending injury?
Yeah, even after the injury. Kevin Love also is not going to play, so what's the difference? I think Kevin Love's contract, it's longer, and it made even less sense.
Isn't Wall's in 4 years, $40 million per year? 5 years, $40 million per year?
I don't know.
I think
Walls is longer.
I think Walls is longer and more expensive.
I think John Wall will be more productive overall, except for obviously not the rest of the season. But I don't expect any production out of Kevin Love. I feel like he's just so many injuries. I just don't see this making sense for them at all. And at least for Washington, they're already screwed with the salary cap. This, for Cleveland, you're trying to rebuild. Why would you do this?
Yeah.
Okay. The other question: would you sign Chandler Parsons? He just got cut by the Grizzlies have cut him, so you'd have to pay him league minimum. Is there value in Chandler Parsons? And basically Memphis, whatever would happen there, Memphis stopped wanting to play him. But he had promised at some point. Would you give him a shot?
Yes.
As a reclamation project?
Yes. For a league minimum, yeah.
Yeah.
He said he was medically cleared to play.
Yeah, so, I don't know why. I'm surprised. I don't know what the hell happened in Memphis, but I would give him a shot.
I mean, 2-3 years ago, he was playing borderline all-star level. So he had a bunch of injuries. If he's healthy now, give him a shot. I mean, if it's for the minimum, why not?
How old is he?
He's, I think, 27.
Oh, wow. Actually, he's 30.
Wow. Okay.
He got old fast.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, maybe I'm going to rethink this and say we don't need to sign him. Actually, I was thinking he was like 25 still.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised he's 30 already.
Yeah, okay, forget it. We're not gonna sign him, guys. Knicks, just call it. Don't put the phone down. I know you guys were listening. Okay, so I have a question for you. How did you do your player power rankings? In the sense of like, is it rankings for December? Is it overall season? What did you do? Because we didn't really talk about this part.
Yeah, well, when I was doing them weekly, it was based on the season, but heavily weighted toward like the most recent few games.
Okay.
So since we haven't done it in like a month, I did it basically on the past month.
Okay. Yeah, so I kind of did overall season / recent play, kind of a blend.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a fair way to do this.
Yeah.
Okay. So we did one of the 10 games of the season, and so we're going to read off. Should we read off first who we had? I guess who we have now, and then who we had 10 games of the season.
Yeah.
Because I think this is a very fair way to. Actually, I have one more question I want to ask you before we do the rankings. This is the last one I want to ask you.
Okay.
What was more damaging to their respective franchises? The Boston Celtics trade with the Nets when they traded Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett for every draft pick the Nets will ever have ever again, or the Phil Jackson era for the Knicks. I mean, Boston's trade. I guess they had three draft picks and 2 pick swaps.
Right.
A ton of draft picks. It was a huge addition to Boston. Helped make the team they are now. Phil Jackson but the Nets. They did that, but the Nets are right now appear to be ahead of the Knicks. The Phil Jackson era was just 3 years of horrendous basketball that equaled lots of dead salary cap and just KP. Not much else.
Yeah, I'm going to say Phil Jackson. I mean, if you just look at the Bargnani trade, that was 2 draft picks right there. So
that wasn't Phil.
That wasn't even Phil. Holy crap. How long has this garbage been going on for?
That was before Phil. That Phil came the following year, I believe.
Okay. Well, I would still go with Phil because I mean, what do the Knicks have to show from Phil? They got Porzingis, who hasn't been healthy 1 season. That's about it, right?
Yeah, we're going to give him a huge contract. But I still think the trading away all the draft picks of the Celtics was more damaging, but the Nets have just been run better because they're ahead of us.
Yeah, but running the franchise is terribly is damaging.
No, I'm saying running it. Yeah, I think the trade overall is pretty brutal for the Nets.
Like,
I don't know.
I think look, if the Knicks made that, if the situations were reversed, I think it would be more damaging for the Knicks, just because they're run so poorly. But the fact that the Nets are run better, Phil Jackson was more damaging for the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean the Nets were run better ever since they got what's his name from the Spurs. The GM from the Spurs, basically the assistant GM over there. He's done a much better job of running this franchise. Okay, well, hopefully the Knicks turn it around. But I was just thinking about it. We always talk about how devastating that trade was, and I'm like, the Phil Jackson era was pretty goddamn devastating too. You got KP, you got Joakim Noah's contract,
which is going to be on the books for 3 more years.
You got not much else. I mean, like you played 3 years of horrible basketball, and you had almost nothing to show from it.
They had the worst Knicks season in the history of the franchise,
and you got which may or may not still be after this year. You got Ntilikina, who's like the most like I like him, but like either he's going to be like he's the most polarizing figure on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go to our rankings.
All right. Let's take a quick break and then we'll do the rankings.
Okay.
All right, we are back.
Okay. I don't know what you do during your break.
I did the dishes, vacuumed. It was good.
Did you go to your Enes Kanter statue and like lick it?
I relit the candles that are surrounding it.
Okay, cool. You just say you're a giant, you're a huge Enes Kanter fan, and you want to max him.
No, I'm not going to say that.
He's not going to go into the next game.
Yeah. He's scared of getting murdered.
It doesn't sound like it sounds like a realistic, like you're like, oh, that could probably happen, so please don't come to the game.
Yeah.
The,
Yeah.
the Knicks are playing in London, and he's worried that the Turkey may have a hit
Assassins.
squad take him out while he's at the game. It doesn't seem that unlikely. So Cantor, please don't leave America. That's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, we don't like you on the Knicks, but we don't want you dead.
We do not want you dead. Okay, so my number one ranking, my number one player for the current Knicks rankings, I would still take Timmy.
I'm going Kevin Knox.
Ooh.
I feel like he's been a little bit more consistent than Timmy.
Have you seen Kevin Knox play after the first quarter? I like Kevin Knox. I think he's been playing a lot better lately. He's high on my list, but he kind of disappears after the first quarter.
He does, but
he had a shot in the fourth quarter during the Laker game, and I was shocked.
I just feel like Timmy can disappear for an entire games.
It's amazing. Knox is like, I got 18 points in the first quarter. Awesome. I'll finish this game with 19.
I wonder if it's a conditioning thing.
I don't know. I mean, Fizdale's been having him play the entire first quarter or close to it. So he has more time to get points in the first quarter. But yeah, I feel like it's probably a bit of a conditioning thing. And like, it's hard being a rookie, like in general. So
yeah,
you probably hit a little bit of the rookie wall time.
I mean, he is playing like 40 minutes a game, which is probably not the best idea.
Has it been 40 lately?
Well, he played 41 against the Jazz. He played 39 against the Nuggets and 37 against the Lakers. It's a lot of minutes.
That does seem like a lot of minutes. I would probably ideally have him play closer to 32 minutes a game.
In 2 out of 3 of those games, he played the most minutes on the team.
I mean, at least we want our rookie getting playing time. So
there's playing time, and then there's like grinding him into dust.
Yeah, I'm not that concerned right now. He's 19 years old, so so it's not like it's like he's our 20. Like, I don't think it's a major issue, and I don't think this happens every night. It just happens. Those are 3 games in a row where you're right. Yes, he played a ton of minutes, but it hasn't been all season.
No, it hasn't.
Okay, so I had Timmy, you had Knox. Who was our number one?
Timmy.
Timmy. Okay, so not a bad one.
No.
My number 2 here is Knox.
Okay, I have Timmy.
Wow, this is an exciting ranking so far.
Well, back in November we had Cantor.
Cantor's not number 2 anymore.
No, he's not.
I bet he's number 3 for you. So yeah, I think Knox has been playing well. It's just that like he needs to play better overall. The whole game needs to pass more. He needs to work a little bit on his defense. Really, the Knicks are just not a good team, so that's why he's here.
No, because this list was really hard to do after number 2.
Yeah. So my number 3, Vonleh.
Yeah, that's fair. I do not have Vonleh, but I could definitely see that.
Who do you have 3?
I have Moutier, and I didn't feel good about it.
Where did you have Moutier in our 10-game in list?
8.
Yeah, I actually thought he would have been lower then, but he probably had 1 or 2 good games.
Yeah, he was like 15 before the season. He moved all the way up to 8, and now I have him 3.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I put Vonleh there, but I know I'm not like I like Vonleh, but he also disappears at times.
Mm-hmm.
Every guy in the Knicks disappears at times.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, I have Vonleh 4, so it's not a huge stretch.
I have Moutier 4,
okay.
So it's really not like we're on the same page here.
Yeah.
So it gets a lot harder from here.
So this is how crazy the season has been. We had for 3 and 4 in November Trier and Dodson.
Wow.
Yeah.
Trier is not that high anymore.
No, he's not.
Where do we have Vonleh?
We have Vonleh at. We had him at 5.
Okay. I mean, Vonleh, he's not. I think the thing with Vonleh is like, what are his strengths? What do you think?
Definitely rebounding.
Yeah, solid rebounder. I don't feel when Cantor is off the court that we lose anything in rebounding.
No.
Which I also think is a sign that his rebounding is overrated. Is that when he leaves the court, we still get the same rebounds.
Could be, yeah.
But what else, Vonleh?
He seems pretty good. He's pretty good on defense. I still think he gets. I think maybe media is overrated a little bit, but he can
You
definitely hold
think
his
you
own.
think calling him the the Giannis stopper?
Yeah. But I think he's pretty good.
He's pretty solid. He's solid enough. He's okay. He's at least average, if not a little above average
Yeah.
in defense. I liked his handle for a little while, like the fact that he can get the rebound, and just dribble up the court.
Mm-hmm.
But I've noticed that he gets up the court and just like the play just stops anyway. It's not like he's hitting someone with a pass and making a fast break. It's just that he dribbles up and just hands off to someone else.
Yeah.
So I'm now thinking that skill set was overrated a bit.
He is. He's pretty good stealing too. He had 4 against the Lakers.
He had 4 steals against the Lakers.
Yeah. I guess who I'm playing in fantasy this week. A guy. It was Vonleh. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Vonleh he won't do it again until that guy plays you again.
Yeah, pretty much.
His 3-point shooting I think is overrated because he shoots only 2 a game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're shooting 2 a game and you hit 1 of them, it's great, but that's 1 extra point.
It's still nice.
It's not bad, but you're not a stretch 4 for doing 2 a game.
Right.
I feel like would it be fair to say to be a stretch player you need to have you need to shoot 6 a game?
Well, no, I think the opposing team needs to respect your shot. So if you're out at the 3-point line and the defense is running out to defend you, then you're a stretch.
Yeah, well, I guess are teams gonna have you noticed teams think looking at Vonleh as a stretch player?
No.
I've noticed also most of the time Vonleh doesn't even want to shoot the 3.
Yeah,
he gets it. There's a lot of times you see him he has an open 3 and he just doesn't take it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he'll get his confidence up a little bit. I mean, he had a rough start to the NBA, so he's probably not used to any of this right now.
I just feel you need to shoot I guess to get respect and have the defenses really want to cover you there, you have to shoot more than a few a game.
Yeah.
But he's a solid player. Yeah. So I agree with So I had him at where was it? You had it at 4, and I had Moutier at 4. Isn't it amazing? Moutier is 3 and 4 on our list.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
They were saying how Moutier also during the Laker game, they were saying how he's trying to he's asking coaches everything about why are certain players doing certain things. He really wants to know what everyone on the court's supposed to be doing so he can really lead the team.
That's nice. I like that.
This is a guy basically most Knicks fans wanted to cut before the season started. Is now our team leader.
Well, I mean, 2 out of our top 4 are guys that we thought wouldn't be on the team right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
well,
weird.
Who's the second?
Vonleh. We thought he was.
Vonleh. Yeah, you're right. When he was signed, they didn't think anything of him.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5, I have Dotson.
I have Cornette just because he's been hitting so many threes.
Our lists are insane. Cornette is 6 for me.
Okay.
I mean, it's also how far the Knicks have fallen that I have Cornette 6.
I know.
I can't argue with I cannot argue with Cornette being. I like Dotson's defense, and overall, I think he's a better player than Cornette. But Cornette's been hitting threes.
I have
no question.
Dotson a little bit lower just because he's been ice cold this last week or 2.
He's not been great. He played okay against the Lakers, but yes, overall, he's not been that great lately.
So for 6, I have Burke.
Who was 5 and 6? Oh man, you have Burke.
Yeah, I have Cornette and Burke.
Okay, this is the first. Burke outside the Laker game has been trash. The entire for a huge stretch.
I feel like pretty much everybody from here down has been pretty trash.
You're I feel like everyone from here down and up has been trash.
Burke wasn't bad against the Jazz.
I mean, Burke is. I don't know. Burke's defense is terrible. His offense is very hit or miss. I'm out on Burke. I am fine if the Knicks just trade him for a second round or the Knicks can trade him for a 3rd round pick. And people the Knicks, there are no 3rd round pick. He's off the team. We don't care.
So we had 5 and 6. We had Vonleh and Mitchell Robinson.
Okay. Robinson, I dropped because of he's been injured.
Well, yeah, he hasn't played, so it makes sense.
I'd have him much higher if he was playing.
Yeah.
So my number 7 here is Frankie.
Okay, I have Cantor just because he does put up some numbers at some times.
I have Cantor at 8. I can't it's really because the list just gets terrible.
Yeah, 8 is where I have Dodson. And
Okay. Dotson has not been great. I would have put Dotson above Cantor because he plays some defense.
Mhm.
Dotson's more of a plus on the court than Cantor is, but I can't kill you for that. What do we have for 7 and 8 before?
7 and 8, we had Ntilikina and Moutier.
Okay. Oh, so 7. I had Ntilikina now at 7 and then at 7.
Mm-hmm.
Way to stay consistent, Ntilikina. By the way, what's the status of his injury?
I don't think it was a bad injury.
Just like a strain.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing big. Because I knew he didn't play. I knew he went.
Yeah.
They said. Yeah, I don't see much on it here. He's just a sprain. Is what they're saying, but he'll probably miss a game or two. My guess.
Will we notice?
I don't know. I mean, it's so hard to tell anymore if he's going to be. I have trouble believing that he's really going to emerge as like a really good player.
I know. All right. 9.
Okay. What do you have 9?
9, I have Frankie.
Okay. 9, I have Courtney Lee.
Wow, you have Cantor way down here.
No, I said Courtney. I said Cantor at 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, not that I could put Cantor down. He gets some numbers. You're right. I'm going to put Courtney Lee at 9.
Courtney Lee he's played like 2 games this season.
I know. That's what I think of the rest of the list. Really, it's not about Courtney Lee. It's really about the rest of the list.
Okay. Well, who do you have at 10?
Trier, because he's been playing so bad since he came back from his injury that I had to just drop him majorly.
Yeah,
I like Trier, but he's been horrendous since he got back from the injury.
I have Trier at 10 too.
Okay.
So we had 9 and 10. We had Hezonja and Burke.
Okay. I have Burke low. How do you have? I don't know how you have Burke so high.
It was just because he had a couple games recently, and so had we done this list like a week ago, he probably would have been 4 spots lower.
Okay, so my number 11 is Mitchell Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
I know he hasn't played.
Yeah, who hasn't even played? So
I speaks about the rest of the list.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's your 11?
Hezonja.
Yeah, I thought about moving Hezonja up a little bit because of the Lakers game, but that was really one game.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been playing very much. When he's played, he's been terrible. He didn't look terrible against the Lakers, but I don't need to see him the rest of the season. We already knew. I guess also the guys that you know, they're not going to be here next year. We're already convinced we know who they are. We can just not play them anymore.
Right. Experiment over.
Like, Trey Burke, I'd say Trey Burke and Mario Hezonja, I don't need to see. I guess Cantor would fall in that category also, but like Hezonja and Burke, do you really need to see them anymore?
No, I think we've pretty much figured them out.
I mean, whatever you want to say about Ntilikina, when healthy, Ntilikina Burke should never get minutes over Ntilikina anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. So what do we have? Who do we have at this point? 11 and 12.
For 12, I have team captain Lance Thomas.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Team captain number 12.
13, I have Hezonja, and 14, I have Lance.
Just finish your list.
That is my list. I only have 14 players.
Okay, so you just didn't put Porzingis.
Well, Porzingis would be number 1. Okay.
I had Courtney Lee at 13, Mitchell Robinson at 14, just because they haven't played.
Yeah, I mean that's fair, I guess. But that Lance hasn't really played either. Courtney Lee has played as much as Lance has.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need a nitpick between 12th and 13th.
Yeah, and KP, I guess KP's honorable mention number 1. But
so we had 10 through 15. We had Burke, Thomas, Baker, Knox, Lee, Porzingis. So Knox went up quite a bit.
Knox went up. Yeah, Knox was playing like trash at the beginning of the year. Well, he got injured also, but he was playing so bad. He's the one that like that's the big one. I mean, obviously, like he shot up the list. He's been playing a lot better lately. If not for Kevin Knox, this season would be almost unbearable.
Yeah. So we didn't even have Cornette. We didn't even bother to put him in the rankings last time.
So Cornette was not even in the rankings, and now he's also shot up the list.
Yeah, we put a guy on the two-way contract instead of Cornette, just assuming Cornette was getting waived.
Yeah. By the way, the Knicks are now in the tankathon, which matters. The Knicks are now tied for third with the Bulls.
Yeah.
That win pushed them back a little bit.
Yeah, that's how tight this race is.
It's Cleveland at 1 with 8 wins. Phoenix at 2 with 9 wins. Phoenix, who crushed us, can't seem to beat anyone else. Chicago has 10 with tied with the Knicks, and Atlanta at 12 wins. Oh man, what a fun race!
Yeah, it's bad down there.
This is a yeah. I'm gonna go questions.
Yeah, let's go to questions. Email Mr. C writes, "Hi Mark, Bry, commiserations on Jay passing the CPA. You will now have to find something else to make fun of him about. Perhaps Jay will become really boring and speak in a nerdy voice now that he is an accountant. Anyway, congratulations, Jay, on achieving his dream of becoming a video editor. I mean, accountant. I think we're all genuinely happy for him. Thank you, Mr. C."
Awesome. Were you supposed to read that one last show?
Yes, that was one I missed last show.
Okay.
This one is from Matt from Perth, Australia. The title of the email is Cantor Sucks.
I wonder what this is about.
It says, Cantor is so incredibly annoying in every way. His lack of understanding about why he's been benched is ridiculous. Think about this. No matter how high percentage the shots he takes from 2 to 6 feet away from the basket are, they're never as high as a percentage as the layups and dunks opposing teams get as they blow right past them with his fatally flawed slow feet and a surprised expression. Also, nothing against the WNBA, but he plays like a WNBA big. Lots of fundamentally sound shots from 2 feet away, no dunks. Cantor sucks.
Go Cantor!
It is crazy how he doesn't understand about his defense. He just is totally confused why letting people run past him is a problem. I
mean, there are so many plays where guys just go like 2 feet away from it and just like you're right near the basket and you can't contest the shot. Or there's too many like pick and rolls where somehow there's no communication and him and the other player always go to one player and the other guy ends up with a dunk.
Well, he doesn't even get a hand up. That's the frustrating part.
I mean, there's so many plays where he just looks disinterested.
Yeah.
But
Kenny writes.
Yeah.
Question:
Okay.
What do you think our chances are of landing KD if we get Zion? Zion. Higher, lower, no Zion, no KD. Cheers, guys. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thank you, Kenny.
I gotta say that KD's not coming here no matter what. But even with Zion, I don't think KD's coming here. What do you think?
I don't think that'll affect his decision, to be honest. I think either he wants to come to New York or he doesn't. I don't think, because nobody knows. He looks good now. Nobody knows if he's actually going to be really good.
Yeah, Zion, obviously not KD.
Yeah,
where do you
his shot
will go?
His shot's not very good. You need a shot in today's NBA. So
I haven't watched enough of Zion. I know he's super athletic, can like jump out of the gym. I always see him dunking, which lots of guys dunk.
Yeah, I have not seen one highlight of him actually hitting a shot.
Okay, but of course, obviously, we're not watching a lot of him. So
no, we're not. But
so let's not go into this knocking like top draft. Like, he seems right now the consensus number one, like him or Barrett, right?
Yeah, but everyone said the consensus number 1 or 2 was going to be Durant or Odin. So if you're a consensus top 2 pick, that doesn't mean you're going to work out. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's totally true. But Odin, in fairness, if Odin was not injured, he probably would have had a very successful NBA career.
Yeah, but he was.
Yeah, but it's not like Markelle Fultz where you're like, what the hell happened?
Well, that too. That he was a consensus number 1 pick, and so I'm just saying to base your decision on a guy who may or may not work out.
Oh, I was just saying it's too early to start bashing. I mean, the Knicks are so bad.
No, I'm not. I'm not bashing him. I'm just saying it doesn't seem prudent to pick a team based on a draft pick that may or may not work out.
Yes, if you're KD, you're not coming to the Knicks because you're like, oh, they got Zion. They're good. Let's go do it.
Right.
Though there have been some top draft picks where they seem like a guy like Durant. Well, I guess LeBron, clearly, the only ones I remember really being like, this guy is going to be a home run from day one were like Shaq and LeBron. Like, you got LeBron, you knew like this guy's going to be like, he's going to crush it right away.
Yeah, I think most people felt really good about Durant and Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. They did. I just feel like LeBron was another level. When LeBron was coming out, everyone was like, holy crap, this guy's going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And Shaq, too. Like, when they were drafted, like, I feel like everyone was like, this guy's going to be crazy good right away.
Yeah.
But, like, other guys, was there as much hype about Anthony Davis? There's a lot of, I guess, some hype.
I wouldn't say as much. I mean, people were like, oh, this guy's going to be awesome. But, like, people were talking about LeBron when he was, like, a freshman in high school.
Yeah. In fairness, Durant, there was a lot of hype. Everyone, the only knock on him was he's too thin. But there was also, like, there was just a ton of hype about Greg Oden. Oden was really, like, a surprising, like, swing and a miss. Like Markelle Fultz, everyone thought he'd be really good, but no one would have said, like, Fultz looks like a guy that's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Right.
I don't know. Can you think of any other, like, top draft picks who were, like, so, like, everyone's like, this guy's going to be so good and didn't work out? Like, Anthony Bennett was, like, we didn't even know why he was drafted number one.
That was so confusing. That was really confusing.
It was a weak draft. I mean, Oladipo was number two, and Oladipo worked out to be a very good player, but, like, it wasn't as apparent at the time.
Yeah. I can't think of anybody who everyone was like, yeah, definitely this guy's going to be fine, and he was a complete bust.
I mean, Towns was pretty much a very, like, consensus number one, but he's been very good. He hasn't quite lived up to where they'd like him to be right now, but he's
been playing really well the last couple of weeks, though.
So I agree the Covington thing, like getting rid of Butler has helped Towns. I probably will help him getting rid of Thibodeau now.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're better off getting number one draft pick than not getting him.
I think people were pretty surprised about Okafor.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in the same token, they were pretty surprised about the guy in the Nets now, the Laker guy.
D'Angelo Russell?
Yeah. I mean, that was surprising that didn't work out.
Yeah, but he's still... I wouldn't say he's been a complete bust.
He has not been a complete bust. He's been playing pretty decent for the Nets this year.
Yeah, and he's still really young. He's not like Okafor, who's pretty much out of the NBA already.
Yeah, Okafor was a gigantic bust. I mean, the Knicks probably would have taken him if he was available. Like, we're just so lucky that Philly took him.
I mean, Philly, to be honest, didn't do a great job in drafting. They got Embiid and Simmons, but they also took Carter Williams and Fultz.
Yeah, I mean, the Fultz one's a big... that's a huge miss.
And people are even saying they should think about trading Simmons.
Yeah, that sounds like didn't they have a fight for... Simmons and Embiid fought for an uncontested rebound?
That's not a good sign.
And apparently Jimmy Butler has gone to the coach and said, I know you guys don't run a lot of isolations. I want to do more isolations and more pick and rolls.
Butler sounds great.
Butler gets to your team and the cancer just spreads.
Yeah.
We've got this great future with Embiid and Simmons. Hi, I'm Jimmy Butler. I'm gonna screw this up for you guys.
I am so glad the Knicks didn't make a run at Butler.
Well, here's the question: like, if you're at Philly, you're gonna have to max. Are you gonna max all three of these guys out?
No, I think since all three of those guys need the ball a lot, I think you got to move one of them.
Who do you move of the three?
Simmons.
Hey, let's say that all three of them will take the max.
You move Simmons.
You move Simmons. You don't move Butler. I guess like you'd rather have Butler than Simmons.
I just think they gave up so much for Butler. It would be a really bad look if they're like, hey, we lost Sarek and Covington, and then we're just gonna let Butler walk. Like I think it's too hard to save face. I would keep Simmons, but I don't think from like a a contextual standpoint, it would look good at all to trade all those assets and then not sign him.
Who fits better with Embiid? We're going to agree you're going to keep Embiid.
Yeah.
Like that'd be the insane to get rid of him.
Yeah.
So who fits better with him?
I don't know. It's
Can one of them shoot from more than 5 feet away from the basket?
not really. Butler's slightly better.
I mean, Simmons is just like he has no outside shot.
No, it's a big problem. I would say Butler just because he could shoot from a little bit farther away.
Yeah, but Butler has more. That being said, I'd rather have Simmons on my team. If they were to say who I'd rather have on the Knicks, I'd rather have Simmons.
I would too, but like I said, if you gave up all those assets, you got to keep them.
So let's say they're going to move on from Simmons, and the theory is that Simmons would rather have his own team also.
Right.
I said before. I think we talked about last show. Would you do Simmons for KP straight up?
I don't think we talked about that last show. I think that was your question of the day on the Facebook page.
Oh, but didn't we talk about that? No, that was my trade when we did that was the Philly trade.
Oh, right. Never mind.
Okay, well, would you do the trade?
Yes.
I guess we talked about it. Let's talk about it again. Why not?
Yes.
Why?
I am very scared about KP's long-term health.
Okay, let's say you have like you both guys. You have you see into the future. Both guys will be healthy, 100% healthy rest of their careers. Barring minor injuries, they're both going to play 70-plus games a year.
Then I don't do the trade.
Why?
Because I think in today's NBA, having a guy who's that bad at shooting is very detrimental to your team.
But Simmons would be our answer at point guard. I mean, he's so long and so big and can he's a hell of a passer. He's a very solid defender also.
He is, but if you don't have to pay attention to him at all, outside of 10 feet, it changes the entire scheme of the defense.
Well, up to this point, defensive I've known that he can't shoot, and he still seems to score a lot.
Yeah, but it looks like it makes it harder for everybody else.
Well, the Phillies been pretty good with him so far. It's not like this stuff's not. It's not hypothetical. Would it work out with this guy? He's playing really well. I mean, the dude, he averages about 8 assists a game, which the Knicks haven't had a guy do that in a long time, and gets 8 or 9 rebounds.
Yeah,
he almost does a triple double basically.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you could teach him to shoot. At some point, he's got to learn how to shoot. At some point, he spends the offseason learning how to shoot. At some point, they're like, he's 15 feet from the basket. He'll never shoot. Oh my God, he makes it! And the crowd goes wild.
He has never hit a 3-point shot in his career. In fact, after going 0 for 11 last season, he hasn't even attempted one this season.
But that's one of those things that, Dwayne Wade, they had the whole thing about how he became a 3-point shooter in the offseason.
Yes, but Wade was never this bad. This is really bad. I mean, Simmons can't even shoot a free throw.
Isn't Simmons a guy you can really build a team around? Though, the Knicks have wanted a guy, a point guard like this for so long. So
you would do the trade?
I think I would do the trade. I think what he brings, I think Simmons' skills, KP. First of all, I agree with you on the worries about KP's injury. Totally agree with that. That being said, Simmons, what he brings as a point guard is he's just huge. And I think having a guy that can set everyone else up would make everyone else look so much better. I would rather, and I think it would be a better sell to Durant that you have Simmons and you have first Durant's probably not coming here, but you have Simmons, you have Knox, you have Zion, Barrett, whoever they draft. I'd rather build like that.
I am also concerned about Porzingis' 1 assist per game career average.
I mean, in theory, that will go up when the team has he's a more functional team they plays with.
You can have a terrible team and average 2 assists a game.
I just feel I need the ball to move. The Knicks need the ball to move. Solving the point guard issue, I think is, you know what? Before we talked about this, when Phil Jackson threatened to trade KP back at our the glory days of Phil, we talked about the idea of like, would you trade KP to get like a guy like Markelle Fultz, which would have been holy crap, that would have been a disaster. But if you and you don't, I know you're not going to listen back, but I think we talked about the fact that if you solve the point guard issue, it might be more valuable to this team in the long run than KP.
Right. Yeah. No, I do think you have a point there.
I would do the trade straight up. I think from Philly's standpoint, I think it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, outside of the injury issues, KP does not need the ball in his hands, and he'd look pretty like he'd be a hell of a replacement for. I guess he replaces Robert Covington. I guess is that or
Saric.
Whatever. However you want to. Like having him next to Embiid, you have like a hell of rim protection is amazing, and you got KP can shoot. Like it's a pretty dynamic offense.
Yeah. It might be one of those trades where it works out for both teams.
But I would love to build around Ben Simmons. I think that would be freaking awesome.
I mean, basically, you could just tell him, like, you're practicing with the shooting coach every single day, or we're not going to max you out.
Didn't we have that guy in the show once who was like the shooting coach?
Yeah.
Get him!
Yeah.
Friend of the show. Shooting coach. I forget his name, but I just get some shooting doctors. Like, he doesn't have to have a huge outside shooting game either, but like he could get better. Lonzo Ball can shoot threes now.
Mm-hmm.
So guys can get better.
A few shows ago, I brought up Knox's lack of finishing ability around the rim and asked who can teach him the Euro step. For the record, that question was rhetorical. The Knicks also noticed, and Mark Berman reported that some of the organization doubted improvement was even possible this season, claiming he had lacked upper body strength, but this kid in the last 5 games put in work and figured it out. He's showing remarkable improvement in percentages around the rim and when finishing with contact. It's not perfect, and he's got a lot of work to do, but I'll take that from the youngest in the NBA, playing in the world's most critical basketball market. Thank you, Hagai. Also, thank you for sending in your phonetic spelling.
Knox has looked a ton better as of late. I mean, actually, the last 1 or 2 games he hasn't looked that great, but in general, he's looking a lot better. He looks like he belongs on the court. I mean, Moutier has figured out how to finish at the rim. I'm sure Knox will get better.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Fitz said that he thinks Knox talks about like knee pain. He thinks Knox is growing still.
He could be, and if he's shown this much improvement over the course of 35, 40 games, that's an amazing sign.
I don't want to like scare you, but I've looked into the future. Ntilikina and Knox in 5 years will each be about 8 foot tall. They're going to keep growing.
Which team are they going to play on, though?
Not the Knicks. They'll have their growth spurt as soon as the Knicks trade them to the Lakers. The Knicks will be like, before we traded Knox and Ntilikina for LeBron James. LeBron announced his retirement immediately afterwards, and Ntilikina and Knox shoot up about a foot each after the trade. Go on to the next question.
That is it for emails.
Okay. We were asked on Facebook last week if you could pick your top 5 free agents and top 5 potential draftees. This was from Matt. Who would they be and why? I am going to hold off on potential draftees because we're so far from the draft. But do you want to talk about free agents?
Sure.
Even though I guess we're so far from that also, but I can't.
Yeah, we're actually even farther away from free agents.
I don't know. I haven't watched enough college yet. So Durant are going to be number 1?
Yeah. You know
and why?
You know who's going to be? You know who's going to be a free agent this summer?
Who?
Burke, Cornette, Moutier, Baker, Porzingis, Hezonja, Cantor.
Actually, Fizdale said that it's a problem having so many guys that are going to their contracts are up at the end of the year. It makes it harder to get team basketball going when so many guys are worried about their contracts.
Pretty much every single guy on the Knicks. It's crazy.
Every single guy on the Knicks. Yeah. Do you think that's how big of a problem do you think that is?
It's a bit of a problem. I mean, a lot of these guys haven't gotten their first big contract yet, so everyone's playing for themselves.
I'm pretty sure that all these guys, if they all had 4-year deals in the Knicks would still suck.
Guys I would like, Kent Bazemore.
You want Bazemore?
Why not?
He's your number 2?
I didn't
Or
say he was
number
my
one?
number 2. I'm just listing guys I would like.
I thought we were going to go your number 2.
Well, I don't have them ranked. This is no particular order. I would like.
Okay, why Bazemore? It seems like a weird choice.
He's a solid player. He's not going to probably get a max, but he's a very solid player.
You think he's going to anywhere close? His contract is way overrated right now. He's getting paid way too much right now.
Yeah,
Does,
I'm not.
does he
saying,
get like $17 or $18 million a year?
Yeah, I would. I think he got overpaid. I don't think he's going to get that in his next contract.
I mean, he's helping the Hawks suck. Like, you're trying to like get us from 10 wins to 12 wins.
What?
I don't understand that. I don't understand. It's like, why are you going for Bazemore? He's an okay player.
I think he's fine. I think he's better than 3/4 of the Knicks roster.
Okay. So like, you're just gonna like take the lowest standard possible.
Last 5 games for this player, who's a free agent. 15, 18, 19, 20, 20. He hasn't shot below 50% in any of those games.
Yeah.
And he is averaging a little over 3 3-pointers a game over those 5 games.
I'm guessing this is Kent Bazemore?
No.
Okay, who is this?
This is the beast, Damari Carroll.
Oh!
Newest addition to Jay's fantasy team.
Wow. He's on fire.
Yes, he is.
I am shocked. Is he on your list of free agents you want to get now?
He's 32. I don't want anybody that age.
By the way,
He
Kent
is a free
Bazemore's 30.
I didn't realize that. Okay, scratch him.
We have a podcast where Jay talks about. We all talk about the players we want and find out their ages after. I'm thinking Kawhi Leonard is my number 2.
Yeah, I think that's safe.
My reasoning here is he's really good at basketball. My number 3 on my list would be Klay Thompson.
Okay, yeah, I still agree. Is Kemba Walker number 4?
Yeah, Kemba Walker number 4.
Yeah. Although his teammate Jeremy Lamb would be intriguing.
Yeah, it's a solid, but he hasn't exactly taken off anywhere he's gone.
He's having a very good season this year.
Is he? What are his numbers this year?
He's averaging 15, 5.5, and 2.
Oh, it's not bad. I didn't realize he was playing so well. He's still like a bench guy, though.
No,
right?
He's starting now, playing 30 minutes a game, 29 minutes a game, shooting 45%, 35 from 3.
He's also like 34. You really want him?
He's 26.
Okay, I was just lying.
He's averaging 1 steal a game, too.
No, he was supposed to be. Do you remember what big trade was he involved in?
He was. Wow, I don't remember.
He was involved in a very, very big trade for a very, very big player. This is a Harden one to get.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
He went from OKC? No,
Yeah.
he went from. Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, say yeah.
Yeah.
He was in the Harden trade.
Right. Okay.
Um,
He was in a Jay's fantasy league trade too.
oh yeah.
I traded Eric Gordon for him. Not Eric Gordon. Gordon Hayward.
I mean, yeah, he's been playing. I mean, it took him a while though. Like, he's been coming on. His first couple of years, he was pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Just
took him
curious.
like,
I'm gonna just quickly look up what that trade was.
it took him like 5 years to get his crap together.
Don't you think OKC should have kept him?
There's a lot of players OKC should have kept.
I mean, that's true.
James Harden, Kevin Durant. It's a lot of
If you're
players.
gonna talk about the major guys, they should have kept.
I mean, Oladipo. I mean, there's a long list of players OKC should have kept.
Okay, so so he was Harden. I didn't realize the other guys were traded with Harden. He was traded with DeQuan Cook, former Knick great Cole Aldridge, and Lazar Haywood, in exchange for Kevin Martin, who at the time, I mean, just say this trade wasn't Well, I mean, the trade was still bad, obviously, because James Harden's freaking amazing. But it was Kevin Martin at the time who could score. He was a solid 20-point game, 18 to 20-point game guy.
Yeah.
Jeremy Lamb, who actually turned out to be a pretty good player. 2 first-round picks. One of them became Steven Adams. Another one became Mitch McGrary. And a second-round pick that became Alex Abrinas. So basically 2 firsts and a second. I mean, it was still crazy, but to trade him. But man, OKC, you had whatever. Okay, let's move on from there.
I mean, Kevin Martin was coming off of a very, very injured season.
Was he injured the year before? I don't remember.
His last season in Houston, he played 40 games.
Oh.
So, yeah, not
okay, you won me over, James. It was a dumb trade. By the way, James Harden has been playing out of his mind lately. Have you been paying attention?
Yeah, I hate his style of play so much.
Beyond the fouling, he's looked amazing.
He has. I can't get into it.
Yeah, I mean, he's so good. It's just the fouling thing is really, really annoying. It takes away from everything.
Yeah, he spends his entire game just flailing and trying to get a foul call.
I mean, the whole fouling thing in general is just driven me crazy. But
when your entire goal is to get to the free throw line, it's annoying. I mean, he took 27 free throws last week against the Grizzlies.
Hang on.
Who wants to watch that? Who wants to watch that?
His last 10 games, James Harden has been averaging 40 points a game, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals.
And 15 free throw attempts a game.
Yeah. Especially his shooting percentage, his field goal percentage has been terrible, 40%. He also shoots a million threes.
And he's averaging 6 turnovers a game.
Yeah. Still, 40 points a game is
insane. It is. I mean, it's offensively, it's amazing. It's just, I can't watch that many free throws. I think it's gross.
So his PER right now is 28. I bet the bottom half of our list, if you add all their PRs together, it would not be above 28.
Probably not.
So we got our number 5 on my list for free agents. Do I put Kyrie there? I don't really want Kyrie.
No, definitely not.
I want the guy on the Tobias Harris on the Clippers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's my list. I feel like Tobias Harris would be I think a very solid guy. I'd be tempted to max him.
Yeah, he's having a great season.
He plays defense. He would be our answer at small forward. I guess is he a power forward or small forward?
I think he played both, but he plays small forward more.
Okay, they haven't listed here as a power forward, but I always thought he was more of a small.
Yeah.
Either way, he'd be a very solid guy to pair with KP. I'd be very happy about that.
Absolutely.
Okay. What about Milton? Would you go in large for Milton?
Yes.
It wouldn't be bad either. Facebook questions.
Okay.
Actually, we got. If you want a Facebook or Twitter first.
Either one. Let's do speed round.
Okay. My computer's being slow, so I'm gonna whichever comes up first, Twitter or Facebook. I don't know. My computer's frozen. This is awesome. Okay. Osiris 809 writes, can Vonleh start on a Knicks team that contends for a title?
Yes, but we're gonna need 2 more All-Stars.
Yeah, I don't think he can. I think he's a solid guy off the bench. I don't think he's a starter on a good team.
I'm just saying he could. I mean, JaVale McGee started on a championship team. It depends how good the other 4 guys are.
Right. Put Vonleh on Golden State, that'd be fine. Alex writes, which player is the most important that we have not? Which player is it most important that we not have him on the team next year? Who's the most important guy to get rid of?
Probably Cantor. I mean, he seems to be the one that complains the most and causes the most discomfort around the other players.
I also feel like Cantor, Other guys are easier to bench. It seems like with the Knicks are with him that he demands a certain amount of minutes. The Knicks have to play him 20, 25 minutes without, like, if he gets a DNP, he'll lose his mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Richard writes, or actually Rich D writes, would a number 1 pick change free agent strategy?
No. The Knicks need so many players. One player's not. If the Knicks get the number 1 pick, they still need like 6 more good players.
What if you get the number 1 pick and the Bobcats or Hornets? The Bobcats are so in love. Pelicans. I'm losing my mind. The Pelicans are so in love with Zion that they say, give us Zion and Knox, and we'll give you Anthony Davis.
Hmm.
And obviously, you're maxing Anthony Davis.
Right. Davis's injury history really worries me too.
Well, Jay, they're all really tall guys that get injured. So just outside of LeBron James, everyone gets injured.
Yeah, but not like constantly every single season.
You know what you would? The problem here is that you would have signed, given a huge deal to Grant Hill, and been like, "Look how good he was in Detroit. We're good. The Magic are set," and then find out he never plays for us. Like, it's just shit happens.
You know what? I would do it.
Okay, yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat. But
I just looked. Anthony Davis actually was healthy the last 2 years.
Yeah, I think he's been more healthy than not. Also, he misses. I imagine he misses at least 10 games a year.
He played 75 games the last 2 years in a row.
Oh, okay, that's
which
more
is
than actually.
way more than I thought he was. I don't know why. I thought he was missing like 20, 25 games a season.
Yeah, he missed that early in his career. He did, though, didn't he?
He never played less than 61.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
You know, the guy we're about to max has never played more than 61.
I mean, his first 4 seasons, he was in the 60s. So he was injured for a while.
But no, I mean, like KP played more than 61 games?
KP has played 72 as rookie, 66, then 48th and 0.
Okay, cool. Give him the money. Jorge writes, is there hope for that time? Oh, hang on. His first question. Jorge writes, why are we still Knicks fans? I think I'm switching teams if we don't win a championship in Clyde's lifetime. And then follows up by saying, is there hope for that timeline? How old's Clyde?
Very.
Can Clyde live to be 120? How old do you think Clyde is?
He's got to be in the 70s, right?
73. He's, I think, around the same age as our president. 73, if he makes it to 90, 17 years, can the Knicks win that timeline?
Yes.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Kind of. Marcos writes, would you chop off your pinky toe if it meant we got both Katie and Zion?
Pinky toes are useless. I would say no, but I had to think about that way too long.
What if we got Katie, Anthony Davis, and Zion, and you have to give back your CPA?
Definitely not.
Okay, we have a couple of Facebook questions and we're done. Paul writes, think we have better shots of getting Durant or Zion?
Zion.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this, like, as long as the Knicks finish with a top 5 or bottom 5 record, the odds are much better than Durant.
Yeah.
Jeffrey writes, on Tankathon, using the Sim Lottery button, the Knicks show up anywhere between the number 1 pick and the number 7 pick. How long could we fail in the draft and not consider this year a... How low could we fall in this draft and not consider this year a bust? So if we fall to number 7, that would be the horrible scenario, obviously, right?
Yeah.
How far can you fall and still be pretty happy with the draft pick?
It's got to be top 5.
I'm almost up to top 3.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the top 3, I'm feeling... Also, this is supposed to be not the best draft class. There's a whole thing about how a lot of the best players are injured, including Bol Bol. The Manute Bol's son is now out for the year. So you have a lot of guys who are top prospects who are not playing this year, which makes it harder to draft them. And it's really Barrett, Zion, and a couple other guys. What are you doing?
Yeah, what was it?
What were you doing in the background?
Oh, I was moving a piece of paper.
Okay. Well, I heard that. Way to ruin the show, Jay.
Sure.
And the other guys, who are the other guys that are supposed to be good?
See, that's the thing. Like, SI just did their top picks for the draft board right now.
Yeah.
And they had, was it what's his name?
I know who you're talking about.
He's a point guard. Anyway, John Morant.
Yeah.
Which a month ago they had him at 26. Now they have him at 3. And they said he's a really good point guard. But then they said he can't shoot or defend, and he turns the ball over a lot. I'm like, and he's ranked 3. That's great.
They say it's kind of a weak draft class, which that sounds like kind of a weak draft class with that number. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Declan writes, has this year made you more or less confident that a full rebound was the way to go? Yes, the Knicks are on the way to a better draft pick and more cap space, but the team is still massively lacking in talent that will take a long time to fix with or without KP.
Yeah, I mean, this is the way to go. You're developing young guys, and you're going to get a decent draft pick. There's no other way to do it.
What was the alternative, I guess?
Alternative was just to max out a guy who's like 30 and try and barely make the playoffs.
Like we're going to do next year?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, there's not... Knicks are just in a place where there's no great alternatives.
Yeah, I think they're doing it right now.
I mean, Knicks have spent the last 20 years doing it one way, so like spending a couple of years trying to do it this way. Let's see how. I mean, there's no great way to do it. If tanking worked always, then like the Phoenix Suns would eventually be really good.
I'm just hoping they don't halfway do it like they did last time, and then got the team for a guy like Anthony.
I know. I mean, Philly, when they finally clicked, turned it around pretty fast.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 years ago, Philly would look like they were terrible. So, Tristan writes, is the fact that we're desperate for any form of young, promising talent, does that make us overrate guys guys we draft?
Absolutely.
I remember when you guys were big on Hernan Gomez, and that dude from the network came on, the Almighty Network, Almighty Baller Network, came on the show and crushed us all when he said he was a trash player. That did happen, and he was correct. Hernan Gomez is complete trash.
Yeah, remember we were excited about Landry Fields for a year or two?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do it every year. Every year we have one or two guys that we go nuts over, and they're not that good, and it's just because there's not a lot of talent on the team.
So speaking of overrating guy, I mean not overrating. So Kevin Knox won the Eastern Conference Rookie of the Month for December.
Yes,
and I'm not saying we're overrating him, but he's the 8th player in Knicks history to win that award. Do you know who the other guys are?
Ewing.
I don't know if Ewing won it.
How did Ewing not win a Rookie of the? Okay.
Well, I think probably more has to do with looking for hang on. Oh no, Ewing must have won it. Yeah, no, Ewing won it. Never mind. Patrick Ewing did it.
Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson did it. Yes.
Then it gets difficult. I would say maybe Gallinari did it.
No, he did not. Porzingis did it 3 times.
Okay.
So obviously Porzingis we like. So the other guys where it gets a little more questionable. Hernan Gomez won it.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Copeland won it.
Mm-hmm.
Landry Fields won it. They won it. Copeland and Fields accomplished the feat twice. And Channing Frye won it.
Okay, so don't get your hopes up too much for that award.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like one of those things where, like, yeah, like obviously we have some very good players get it, but like guys like Hernan Gomez win it and then like go to obscurity.
Yeah.
I mean, Hernan Gomez, like, there was a lot of reason to doubt how good he'd be. Also,
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we really just want to fall. So, guys on the current roster, are there guys we're falling in love with or overrating? Alonzo Trier, have we been overrating him a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone that plays in the team right now?
Yeah, I would say everybody except maybe Knox, because the guy is 19. So, like, I think we have a right to be excited about him, but we're probably overrating pretty much everybody else.
Do you think people overrate Ntilikina?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, if he wasn't a number 8 pick in the draft, or 8 pick in the draft, is that 8?
Yeah.
If he wasn't an 8th pick in the draft, like if he was a second round pick, would any fans be sold on him anymore?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's also a reason he has a lot of talent, but like, we buy too much into our players. What did we learn today, Jay?
We learned that a month can make a big difference, as shown by our power rankings.
Was that only a month ago? Month and a half ago?
It could have been 2 months ago, but still, that's...
Well, the Knicks have played, I think at that point, the Knicks have played about 10 games, and the Knicks have played about 40 games. They played 39 games so far.
It was probably almost 2 months ago.
So about 30 game difference is pretty huge. So some predictions for, let's make some quick predictions for your for the rankings. Where are they going from here? So 30 games were a pretty big change. The big change is Knox shoots up the list, Moutier shoots up pretty high, and Cornette shoots up the list. What if we do it end of year one? What big change from here will you say?
Hopefully guys like Ntilikina, Dodson, and Trier all move up the list.
Mario Hezonja is going to move from 13 to 14. I predict it right now. I'm calling it.
If Mitchell Robinson's in top 5, I'll be happy.
Yeah, he's the one guy I think is going to move up high. I feel like he'll hopefully come closer to figuring out his foul issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guys I'm buying into on this franchise, on this team right now, are really like, it's Knox I'm buying into and Mitchell Robinson, and that's really it.
Yeah,
and everyone else we'll see.
Yeah, fair. I agree.
What else did we learn today, Jay?
We learned that the Knicks are really good at beating teams missing 3 starters.
Yes. We learned if you take LeBron James and Kuzma away from the Lakers, we can kind of almost beat them. We also learned that I don't know what else.
Our contact information, nyknickspodcast@gmail.com, nyknickspodcast@Patreon to help support the show. We are also nyknickspodcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. The NewYorkKnicksPodcast.com is our website. You can get Knicks Podcast shirts there. And I started a music review site, jlovesmusic.wordpress.com, so you can check that out. There's a Facebook group for that too. So I do album reviews.
Plug that a little bit. So Jay Loves Music. What is it? What is the topic?
So basically, every day I listen to an album and I rate every song on the album, give a little bit of my thoughts, and link a video or two for what I think are the best songs on the album.
Are you going to do JD and the Straight Shots?
If I get enough requests, I will listen to a JD and the Straight Shot album.
I am filing my formal request for JD and the Straight Shots.
If I get 5 requests for JD and the Straight Shot.
2. If I get 2, just say if you get a second one. Just do it, Jay. Come on. If you get a second one, you got to listen to that album.
One album. The guy has like a lot of albums.
It'd be great if your entire site was just devoted to his music. And you're just like, I don't like Dolan as an owner. I think he's been a bit of it's been like an abomination him on the Knicks. But how he treated Oakley is, but he's a master musician.
He has 6 full-length albums.
When he hits that high note and Fix the Knicks, I cry. He has 6 full albums.
Yeah.
Is he? By the way, is he the singer or who's?
Yeah.
Okay, just double checking.
Yeah. So yeah, jaylovesmusic.wordpress.com. Check that out. I'm going to be reviewing some Gorillaz albums this week.
Also, Jay, I'm launching my own site, Jay Loves Young Boys. It's similar themes, not safe at work.
Okay. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We will be back next week.
By the way,
What?
I was going to say the Knicks play the Trailblazers, the Warriors, and the Pacers, and then the Sixers before next show.
Okay. 0-4. Good stuff.
Okay.
My love. Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye.